Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Booty League podcast. Sorry we missed last week. I was a little busy. Um, Chris has no recording power. All podcasts go through me. I have to be always there, but that's fine. We're back. We were running out of
Yep.
content, anyways. What's up, guys?
What up? What
Hello.
up?
Jonathan. We're joined with Jonathan. Whose jersey is that? Is that Antonio Brown?
This is Antonio Brown, yes, the guy who led me to my first booty 2 moons ago. 2 moons ago? 3, something like that.
Was he on the Raiders too?
This was the year he started on the Raiders, and then he burned his feet, and then he went on, and then he got on the Bucks.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Got it. So you got it
So-
when he was the year before
No,
that?
I got this like a month ago.
Oh,
okay.
for the memories. Wait, whose
Yeah.
jersey did you get when you won?
I got Zeke's.
Oh my god.
Very nice.
Yeah,
very
Fair.
nice.
Alright. So, how's your season going so far, Jonathan?
Well, just want to say, so this is my 5th time on the podcast. I was on two times a year. My first year, my second year when I made the finals. You guys remember I beat you guys both in the playoffs that year. And then last year, I had a horrible year, and you guys didn't even invite me once. And then of course, you guys have me back now after Chris has beaten me. After I was 10-0 against you guys, and then Chris finally beat me this year, and now I get an invite back. It just sounds really suspicious.
So, I'll have one of my producers fact check that. I don't...
No, and I gotta say, you guys took a week off, and David heard my bad mic on Discord, and he made sure he sent a producer to set up a mic for me.
Yeah. We're
Right
gonna
here.
need that.
Okay.
We're gonna need that mic back after
Yeah.
you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
You didn't come on last year for real?
No, I wasn't on at all once last year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's no. That I feel like that's something about your
Yeah,
schedule.
I think it was on me.
I
Yeah.
think you're like
okay.
barely doing nursing school or something, and you're just always
Yeah.
studying, probably doing your
Yeah, it was
courses.
bad timing every year. Yeah, but let's just not say that narrative.
Did you watch your brother's episode?
I did. Yeah, I watched all the episodes. I watched them all. Yeah, I watched them. I actually was thinking about doing like a little cameo when he was recording. But,
That would have been funny.
I couldn't find a good timing for it.
All right. Well, yeah, you survived the Cooper Cup off IR, so I think your team's doing pretty well now for the
Yeah.
rest of the year, right? I think I took a look at your team, and it
Yeah.
seemed like you had like a solid starting roster, and like but your bench depth is a little lacking, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's like the first few weeks it wasn't because of the injuries and like, but now I feel pretty solid with my wide receiver depth. I think it's perfect. I have 4 receivers that I can trust, which is really all I need. And then the rest I just fill it up with like running back lottery tickets.
That you
So I'm
sell
pretty
off.
that I sell off eventually. Yeah, but typical maneuvering by me. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with I'm not happy with the record, but I think I'm happy with where I am though.
All right.
I think you're in a good place as well. So let's jump into our quick question. What is your fantasy football related pet peeves? And,
I just took a peek at what Jonathan wrote. I can start us off.
Go ahead.
We'll leave Jonathan for last. So I don't know. I feel like my pet peeve is it's kind of annoying when like in our league specifically, like all the analysts, all the podcasts, all the articles are talking about like maybe 5 players, and they're talking about how good of a week for fantasy waiver wires it is. And then I'm like sick. Time to revamp my team. I go type in the names on my fucking computer, and they're all taken in our league. I'm like, how does this shit always like happens? Like,
Yeah.
it's like it. I get pretty pissed off. I don't get pissed off, but
Yeah.
it's like pretty tilting that like either Jonathan or like Chris or James like it's like on their bench already. I'm like, who is this guy? I barely even
Yeah.
like heard about them like 2 weeks ago.
Man, and every time David goes, "Let me take a look," and it's damn boy. Why
Yeah, I'm
look?
like fucking. Oh, Elijah Mitchell's out. CMC's out. Who has Elijah Mitchell? Fucking Chris, dude.
You really got to be a week ahead
Yeah,
in this
For
league.
sure.
yeah. Go.
Mine would be in league specific. I think it's the disrespect of the shop bets.
Ooh.
I feel like a lot of people don't hold it to a good enough standard. Maybe it's me running it,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Just say their names.
Yeah, I
just
think
the
we all have
disrespect.
someone in mind.
And then when I hear the, I'll just take the interest. I'm like, y'all are folding.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then there's someone that took way too much interest. I heard a word in the streets. He might have a video for us today.
I have a few videos. I don't know how
Oh.
many. I don't know how many.
Oh.
He might have just paid off the interest. I don't think he paid off any of the principal. I think the principal is still there.
Oh,
But yeah.
And
Okay.
Royce is gonna let him in his house with this kind of credit, dude.
Yeah.
This kind of shot credit. Come on now. And what's yours, Jonathan?
Mine, I put here is when someone drops someone good and doesn't even ask for fab with anyone. Like my example was like James. He dropped Gus Edwards. I dropped 11 on him. It's just like if you just like even sent me a silent trade request of like 5, I would have taken it right there. Would have helped us both, you know. Or like
Yeah.
like this week with Ryan. Like I knew Ryan had to drop someone, so I messaged him on Sunday night or Monday night, something like that. I said, whoever you're gonna drop, I'll pay for. Like don't even just let me know, and then I'll tell you I'll pay for someone, and then that's how you make trades. So like people leave value on the table. It's like
Maybe
things like this.
maybe
Huh?
you should have majored in econ, bro.
was gonna-
Maybe you,
My
you're
next point. It's like Royce economics is this archaic thought process of like, oh, you see someone and like Joe Mixon and you spend 200 and like that's 100% your fab. When you take economics under me, your budget's actually 2,200. And so whenever I see people with fab, it's like fab that I can attain. And so
I
it's like when
see.
people don't use fab correctly, it like hurts me because it hurts my budget as well.
Oh man.
I see. We are all buyers. You
Yes.
consider yourself as a seller. That's the
Yes,
difference
uh-huh.
between me and you.
What's it
Yeah.
called?
We're consumer and you're
Yeah.
the
We have
seller.
liabilities. You have
Ah,
assets. That's
yeah,
what it is.
yeah. Your players are working for you,
Yeah,
and we're
yeah.
working for our player. All right, that's all right. Drops of wisdom. All right,
Yeah.
I like that one.
I do have to say that I remember telling people like back in the day, like why don't they just do like why do people just drop their players first? And as I've gotten older and just I have less time, I'm like, you don't have time to fucking go through this shit. Like by the time I start looking at waivers, it's like 6 o'clock on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
that's
whole
part
day-
of yeah.
Yeah, my whole day is gone. It's like fuck, I have 1 hour. I'm like, all right,
Uh-huh.
let me cram my homework really quick and then see what I want to do. But
Sometimes that works out because then you're not like all day adjusting your bids and stuff, and you just go
Yeah.
with your gut.
yeah.
I would say that my kind of runner-up thing is my pet peeve is that waiver wire is on Tuesday. Cause like the
Yeah.
games just finish on Monday and Tuesday you're kind of like hungover from football, from like
Yeah.
being drained from the weekend. Just like I don't know, like you
And there's
come
no
home,
practice on Tuesday.
you come home from work and like it's
Mm.
fucking like 5:30. Waiver wire runs at like 7. You got like an hour and have to put your claims in. I feel like that turnaround time is like kind of draining. I kind of feel like waiver wire is like a chore
Yeah.
if you're working like a 9 to 5 type of deal.
Mhm.
But
We should look into moving that back then. I feel like
cuz
you and I have those concerns right now. So
Cause my work league, we have it on Wednesday,
Wednesday.
which is good. Cause if I had 2 leagues of waiver wire on the same day, that's just like a chore to me then, right?
yeah.
But
Yeah.
each day I can devote like I don't know, like an hour or 2 hours to doing the waiver wire for each league, which works out. But I think Wednesday
Yeah.
would be a good day, and there's a practice report
Yeah.
because
I think the practice report is the biggest thing. It's like you don't really know, like there's so many things that change just from one practice day.
Yeah.
even this week's waiver wire, we had CMC like thinking he was out. People burn like so much money on Jordan Mason or Elijah
Yeah.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
He might play on Monday,
Yeah.
right? So it's yeah. But anyway, more lighthearted things. Well, Chris, why don't you?
Let's jump into our shot bets. We didn't have too many shot bets. Just Royce and Michael. Michael lost. I didn't tag any interest. I've been busy as well. So I'm just moving everything one week forward, and I'll keep tabs on interest next week. I moved everything in that picture forward. So you should have that picture. We've been kind of talking, so I'll move on. Guess head to head from the last pod. All of us tied. So Topher is gonna send one, and then you got David and I with one as well.
All right.
Michael Royce is the only one from this week, and we're gonna have some videos
Yeah.
from some people in just a second. But yeah, here's our first one.
What's the exchange rate on soju?
Yeah, I was just looking at your soju.
Yeah.
What
What is
was
the?
it?
Is it 2-1 or 3-1 for one?
I remember
know
we
what-
said it was a bottle. I think Jonathan took the
Yeah.
bottle.
A bottle is
Is
I-
one?
What, whenever I did a bottle, it'd be
A
three.
bottle is
It would be
3.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's do
Which-
3.
So
Yeah,
3
so yeah, I
shots.
guess
That's 3 to
I'll do
1. I'll
three,
say that's
yeah.
3 to 1. All right.
3-1. 3-1.
That's close
And I have
enough.
a fat like shot
Oh,
coke too though.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Cheers.
cheers.
Okay, cheers.
This is
There you go.
one shot.
I feel like that's not even that much.
Yeah, I feel
Anyway,
3
Yeah.
soju shots isn't that much.
yeah.
Any chemist on the YouTube do the alcohol content math for me and put it down in the comments below. But yeah, we got some videos. Let me see if I can share my screen with people. Screen number 1.
All right. And as he's doing that, just a reminder, Michael has 2 shots. Royce has 1. Michael has. I gotta delete that. Nick has 1. Timmy has 11 right now. I don't even know what the math is anymore. Ryan has 1. Vincent has a crowbar, and Topher has 1. All right.
Oh yeah, Vintook's
Alright.
Gorilla Bar. All right, I don't know how many shots this is, but we'll just count them off.
The video is too short. It's
Okay, for
one.
some reason Royce said number 2, so there
Five
might.
s- It's a 5-second video.
Oh no, there's 2 more. There's 2 more.
Oh, there's 2
One.
more videos. Okay.
All right, just 2 for Timmy, 1 for Royce.
God damn. Why is Royce taking 2?
I guess interest.
Oh, respect. Hey, respectable. I respect it.
All right, that's 2.
I'm gonna mark it off.
So 2 for Timmy, 2 for Royce, and we got 1 more. Oh, what is
Without-
this?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Is this a gurgle one?
Is this just for fun?
I think this is old.
No. He
Yeah,
said.
this is. Didn't you and I dissect this one when he fell down? When he put it down? We
Oh,
tried to see
did
how
we?
much it was. We gotta check the film, and we like.
It was
think,
below the stem. Oh yeah,
that's-
yeah,
that's
yeah.
good,
Okay.
that's
Oh,
it.
okay.
All right,
old,
then
this
this one,
old.
that's an old. Oh, that's why I have a number 1 right here in the corner. All right. Sorry about that.
Only 2?
2 and
Oh my-
2.
Soft.
There's
Did you
sad.
did you
Oh
did you
my
get
God.
James's video on?
I didn't get it, but if you keep the chat occupied for a bit, I can probably grab it right now.
I think he messaged.
Oh, he
us in
messaged it to me.
iMessage.
You're right. You're right.
On iMessage. So we'll move forward. Let's look at the waiver wire bids while David pulls that up. All right, James gets Zach Evans for 42. We're only looking at this week's waiver wire. I was going to look at last week's, and I thought that was just too much work. A lot has gone on since then. But 8 total bids for Zach Evans. Ryan has 33. Next closest bid was Ryan with 33, Vin with 27, David 26, Timmy 24. Mike Mo got Craig Reynolds for 37. 6 total bids. Topher, second closest bid was 31. Then David only 15. Jonathan, Cleveland D for 33. Beats out Knee for 32. 5 total bids. Topher got Jordan Mason. Beat out David by 1. Topher got it for 28. David got 27. David bid 27. 4 total bids there. Mike Mo got Michael Mayer 16. Highest bid by himself, 3 total bids. James bid 1. I bid 0. David, Taysom Hill for 10. And talk about paying off. 15 points as at the time of recording.
Let's go.
15 points for 10 fab. We'll take that. And then I got Raiders D for 8 fab, beating out Michael by 5. I thought it was pretty closely contested, and I'm playing him this week, so I threw that in. On the Wednesday bids, we got Ryan with Lions D for 18, 0 other bids. Vin got Miko Harmon for 6, 0 other bids. My note there is Ryan's a bluff. So
Yeah.
yeah, a lot happening on Tuesday and Wednesday. Any thoughts on that, Jonathan?
I mean, I put at first the rookies can't figure out the bids, but my brother did outbid David by 1 for
I'm
Jordan
glad he
Mason,
did.
which yeah, I'm glad. I'm sure you're glad he did. And also like Ryan bidding 18 on Lions D on Wednesday. It's like I don't know why the rookies on Wednesdays they spend up on people
Hey,
who
shh.
I don't even want to give this advice, but like I said, it hurts when people waste fab. Like you could have given me 17 fab and picked them up for $1.
It's free talk right here.
Yeah.
This should cost 2 fab right now. It's free talk.
But if no one bids on them on Tuesday, what makes you think you have to put $18 on them on Wednesday? It makes no sense to me. No one wanted them to be. Nothing changed. It's not like the Lions got anyone or like But yeah.
Jonathan's here trying to petition for the Fab rollover league, where at the beginning of every he'd have like 500 Fab if the Fab he saved up from last year just rolls over.
Yeah.
Fab keepers.
Yeah.
And then I guess
yeah.
Chris, I saw picked up 2 kickers. I don't know if that was to give Michael limited choices because he's been begging to do no kickers. And yeah, then Timmy picking up the chef. It wasn't said before, but Timmy going back and picking up Dalvin Cook after dropping him for a day.
Yeah.
He couldn't live with himself without Dalvin Cook on his roster.
I was actually, even though he hasn't been doing shit, I was actually kind of surprised that he dropped him, to be honest.
That's true. Yeah, Timmy's stubborn like that. I'm surprised he dropped him for real.
Yeah.
But my thoughts on that is, what do you guys think about Zach Evans like going for 42? I mean, Sean McVay from previous years is like he's like a huge liar. He will like never tell you the truth. So I mean, it could be like Daryl Henderson or like Myles Gaskin as like the lead back.
Yep.
And I think Cam Akers' first year as a rookie, he didn't trust him either as a rookie. I think he was maybe 70-30 with Daryl Henderson, if I remember correctly. So I don't think Sean McVay trusts rookies, and I don't think he's a very trustworthy person himself. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
At this point in time, though, if James isn't playing him, I think if he has the money, he feels like he secures the bid. It's just a lottery ticket, right? If he pops off, I feel like if he gets all the workload this week, James can definitely sell him for something else. But I don't think James really needs him anyways. His running backs are pretty good without it. So I think he was just kind of cashing on a lottery ticket.
Yeah. And I think at the time of Tuesday night, it wasn't as murky as it is now.
Oh yeah.
And also James had like 180 fab. Yeah, he didn't before this one. I don't think he had spent much.
I see. Okay. Anything else you guys want to talk about here?
No.
And in the great scheme of things, I feel like we are pretty frugal. Like, yeah, we like joke around a bit, but like 21%. Like, I feel like other leagues are spending way more. Like out there, like I hear people dropping like 75% on someone we like already had on our bench or something, you know?
Yeah.
So just like 21% for a lottery ticket isn't too bad.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like indicative of like how much I bid for Cleveland, because it's like I bid that much because it's like there's not really many things to spend on our league in terms of waivers. So it's like if I can get someone that actually plays, which is a defense, I felt like that was why I bid up, because otherwise it's like you're bidding up for like the top 3 guys here might not even start for their team this Sunday.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Did you get the video by chance?
Yeah, I got the video. I can pull
All right,
it
so
right
let's
now.
roll it back to James. Before we jump into trades, we've had a lot of action on going with trades. So yeah, let's look at a classic James video here.
A classic. It's a pretty long one too.
I think he was really sick, so he just got off his signature.
Here we go. Bacardi. Oof. A terrible choice by James.
But James always says like this is not for pleasure, so he's just drinking whatever he's got that he doesn't like.
2. Oof.
I hate this technique of putting it all in one cup.
It's in a wine cup too.
James built different. That's all I gotta say.
Oh. Little cute.
With the juice box.
Oh,
Oh
a
my
little too long. A
God.
little too long there.
I actually gave James for Christmas some whiskey cups. I don't think I've ever seen him use them, to be honest.
Because it's not for pleasure. He always
Oh,
says
I see.
being off the shots are not for pleasure. I know
I
he always
see. I
goes
see.
with the truth.
I gave
Um,
him like some. I forget James. I don't know if it's been so long ago, James. If you're listening, I thought I gave you some Yosemite whiskey cups. Do you still have them slash received them? It's like a glass cup with half dome in the middle, like
oh, you know,
a blown glass half dome in the middle of a glass like whiskey cup.
do you freeze it? Is it like the ones where you can freeze and then the dome is
No,
ice or no?
no, no,
Okay.
no, not like, it's just blown glass.
Okay. Okay.
I feel like I got that for him last or a Christmas, but I
Hey,
forget.
Christmas.
I forget if that was a thought or if it actually happened. But
Okay.
James can let me know.
All right, looking at trades. First one, dialing back to last week or maybe a couple weeks. I'm not sure. Mike Moore receives Jay Ferguson, and Jonathan receives Darren Waller. So tight end positional swap here. How did this go about, Jonathan?
I actually just sent it as like a silent trade to Michael, and then I canceled it, and he's like, "Where'd it go?" And I was like, "I got cold feet, so I canceled it." And he's like, "I kind of like it," and I was like, "Fine, I'll do it then." It was the sort of thing like I'm like, if you're down, I'm down. Like I don't know why I was so hesitant, but also I was like, I remember that week Waller played on Monday night or something like that, and like I'm sure Michael like the whole day is like, "Fuck yeah, Waller's gonna score 20 points," and then you go in and you watch the game and he just, I think he caught like 3 passes or something, something
Yeah.
like
right?
that.
Yeah.
So I knew he was gonna be like super vulnerable and like
Oh, okay.
when it and like a lot of hatred towards him. So I was like, let me just throw this out because I feel like
Damn.
this is like
Damn.
and then he accepted it, and to me, it's like Ferguson. It's like maybe a good floor play. Waller has like the ceiling to be
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean-
David, your comment.
Yeah, I mean, isn't Ferguson on the waiver wire right now?
Yeah.
So he
Right.
pretty much just gave Jonathan Waller. He didn't even get his money back by offering Ferguson for Fab. But yeah, Ferguson's on the waiver wire right now.
Oh man, Michael's been chasing tight end hype all season. He's gone through Waller. He went through Ertz, put Waller on the bench. He went to Fergie. He wasn't doing well. He played Logan, didn't do well, and now he's on to the Mayor hype. So he's trying, but he's chasing them. He's chasing the points. It feels like he's chasing the points, because I feel like the process for all of them have been pretty good, but he can't stay on any of them. So. We'll see what happens with that. Grades, I'm gonna give Jonathan an A for that. Michael like an F.
Michael's an F for dropping Ferguson. Obviously, Waller an A. I mean, chasing tight ends is like chasing the dragon. Like you have to just keep one. You ride it out for 3 weeks. You're like, this ain't it. You
Mhm.
pick another one. You ride that guy out for 3 weeks. Like you can't chase the touchdown. It doesn't work for tight ends.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
actually think like streaming or like looking for tight end is like one of the more fun things for me on like when it comes to fantasy football. It's like they're just like so unpredictable. It's like you get like this rush whenever you pick up a new tight end.
I mean, I just coming back to this today during the Saints game. Like I saw Taysom Hill at halftime had like 2 points, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I ain't even upset about that. It's like just like the reality. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
tight ends doing tight end things.
Yeah,
What can I
yeah.
say?
Your expectations are so low, so anything above like 2 points is good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm begging for like 7 points in my
Right?
team.
Yeah. Real shit.
It's tough.
All right, jumping into the next trade we got. I think this was done 2 Sundays ago. But right before kickoff, David receives Matt Breda, and then Chris receives 11 Fab. How did this go about, David? I kind of forgot. I was
You
in San Francisco, and I was like in the middle of cleaning up the Airbnb, and I'm like, hold up, I can't talk to anyone for 10 minutes.
I think
So
I think I
did
think
Saquon get called marked out like last second or
I
something like
think
that? Or
Saquon was practicing with a surprise out. I didn't have anyone to do. I was looking at Matt Breida.
or I think I put in the bid because I knew like it got dropped at a time where it
Oh,
could
oh
get
yeah,
picked
yeah.
up,
No, no.
right? Something
No,
weird
okay,
like
so I remember you're recalling it for me. So he was dropped on Saturday for Sunday waivers. So when I pressed the waiver button, it said waivers run at 7:05 like
okay,
normal on
yeah,
Sunday. And
yeah,
so I was like, okay, I'm not even gonna bother putting in a bid because the game's gonna go already. But
yeah.
then boom, waiver runs at 9:50 or something. I'm like,
Because
what the?
I think he got dropped at 9:50 or something like
I
that.
was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? The
So it's
system
24
fucked
hours
me,
then go to
bro.
waiver. Yeah.
The system fucked me because it's
I think the
I click.
system I think is fucked. Yeah, because it's supposed to be 20. I think it's supposed to be 24
It
hours,
is
but it
24
dropped.
hours, but they don't mark it. So that's something you have to ask for time right there. So like, let's say Jonathan drops someone right now at like
Mhm,
or on Wednesday at 6:30, right? Or let's say Wednesday at 4. Let's say it's a Thursday game, right?
mhm.
Wednesday at 4, and then it's gonna say, oh, Thursday at 7:05, the waiver time.
Yeah.
But at 4 o'clock, you can pick up that person. Like if you put that waiver in, it's
What?
gonna run at that 24-hour mark.
Yeah.
So if
That
you can get it right before that game time, then you're good.
Yeah.
what? Okay, so that's what happened, and I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna do? Like he's not playing. I gotta like play like fucking Antonio Gibson or something, which would have been a good that play that week.
That week.
But I was like, okay. And then Chris is like, I ain't playing this foo. I'm gonna give him out for $10. And I'm like, fuck, $10? I'll do that. But if I put in $10, what if Jonathan puts in $10 or whoever or
Yeah.
Royce puts in
Someone
ten
needed
bucks
him.
for
Yeah.
like that
Yeah,
week, right? And so I'm like, I know if I put in $11 above asking, he'll probably
yeah.
just insta accept because
Hmm.
we were running the trade at like 9:55. I'm like, if
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
put
it
it
was a tight one. It
if
was a
I
tight
if
one.
I'm above the asking price, I know he'll pick me. So that's I ran in the 11, and then I got me like my 3 points or whatever. But I think did I win that week? I think I might have won that week.
Okay,
I,
I'm not sure.
I have no
I
idea.
think so, because yeah, I think you did win that week.
But anyways, yeah, that's what
Yeah, I
happened.
don't got much to say about that trade. Yeah.
All right, let's jump into the next one. Nick receives Deontay Foreman. Jonathan receives 1 fab. Did you reach out to him?
No, this was a silent. I just sent it out.
Okay.
I know Nick has a thing for the Honda
does.
Foreman or whatever he
does.
says.
He
and so I was
does.
like, yeah, he has a thing for him. So I was like, I'm gonna throw out $1 for Nick and just just see what happens. And then the cherry on top was Timmy getting angry about it.
Yeah, okay. And then I think that Roshan's still in protocol, so like David said, he could play a role this week, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
and I think Jonathan also offered that same trade. Or you wanted a player for Dion. I said I could. Okay, 2 weeks ago, Jonathan said I'll give you the Honda Foreman for a bench receiver, and I'm like, no, I'll give you Fab. And Jonathan says no, and then he gives him away for a $1.
$1.
Like what the what the
Damn.
Well, I
Well,
played him. I played him last week, so I was like, no, I'll rather just take. Also, that
Yeah.
was like I played him because I was like, I wanted so bad for him to do well because I was shopping him so much, so I wanted people to regret not taking a trade
Yeah,
from me.
yeah.
So it's like my ego. It's like I was like, I know this is a bad play, but I need to be right, so I need to play him.
You know what? During my week, I thought about that too, and I'm like, "Oh, Deonta Foreman's only scored 8, and both of my running backs scored 10." And I'm like, "Ah, yes, crisis averted."
Yep.
All right. And then more just Jonathan. This is just a Jonathan segment here. Ryan receives not Jonathan, Jamal Williams, and then Jonathan receives Pat Fryermuth and 3 fab. And that rolls into Ryan receives 6 fab, and then Jonathan receives Tyler Algier. So it was like 3 fab.
Yeah, 3 fab and Jamal for Algier, basically.
Yeah, for Algier because Pat Fryermuth is out there. So what do you think, David? 3 fab and Jamal for Algier.
I was.
Speechless.
I don't. I would have kept Algier if you put it like that. because Jamal will he's not getting his whirl back from Kamara. Like I don't even know why Ryan even played him this week. We'll
Yeah,
get
yeah,
into that later. I guess he
Yeah.
really is like he's like so stubborn about like his players, which is like a rookie thing. It's
oh
understandable
yeah,
to have
Yeah.
that rookie mindset about like getting too attached to your players. I don't even think I have any keepers anymore. That's how not attached to my players that I am. Right? And so like you got the lottery pick in Tyler Algier. I mean, he is like I forget what like a third round, second round draft pick for the Falcons. I feel
Mhm.
like I mean he's not a bum. And if anything happens to be Jean, like you saw what he did last year, he's
Yeah.
like a decent serviceable running back too. And Jay Will is like not getting his rollback, and you got Condre Miller, who's the rookie that they drafted, so they might want to give him some
Yeah.
reps too. And so I guess he needed a play this week, and I guess he played him, so that's fine.
I probably would have kept Algier and just played. I'd rather drop Jamal and just play Algier this week if I was him. So I think A+ for Jonathan, and I would say I don't know C for maybe even D for Ryan. I didn't think that was that good of a trade for Ryan.
Yeah, I was surprised he really wanted to play Jamal. Like I sent him Jamal, and I thought it was because he needed a roster spot. Um, and so I got 3 from him. I was happy with that. And then the Algier thing. Well, first, what happened was last week I offered him Chuba Hubbard for Algier, like just a handcuff swap because he had Miles Sanders. He said no. And then this week he goes,
Then Miles Sanders got hurt.
yeah, then Miles Sanders got hurt, and I played him, and Chuba ended up doing well against him. And then this week he comes in, he goes, Can I do Algier for Chuba?" And I was like, "That's not how it works around here, Rook. That's not how it works around here. You're gonna have to give me something better, okay?" And then,
Yeah,
um, yeah, then he needed to drop someone, and I was busy at the time, so I just like he's like, "Okay, I need the fab from you." He said like he wanted 17, and then he went down to 10, and I just sent up a trade for 6, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, you gotta take it or leave it." So when David sent the message where like he needed to drop someone, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna panic accept it right now," and then he did. So I was like,
Mm,
it all worked out.
Yeah.
And I actually I what
Go
were you gonna
ahead.
say?
I have an
No,
interest.
I was so surprised by the response. I thought I overpaid. Like in my head, like when Roy said like he was sarcastically saying like me telling him I was doing him a favor. I honestly thought I was buying goodwill from the Rook. I was like, no one would pay more than $5 for Algier. But everyone's like, oh, you know, like how could you how could you let him fall for that or something like that? I was like, I didn't
yeah.
think it was that bad. But
I thought it was. I think Algier would go for way more than 5 if he was
I'd
healthy.
say
oh,
I say okay, in my head if I saw Algiron, I'll put in a $10 bid.
really?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
I put it at 10 for him.
okay.
That's
So
because
6, I think
no,
is
but that your bench is better than our bench. You gotta look.
That's true.
okay, yeah,
I
okay.
need to up.
That-
I just dropped Matt Breida like today.
yeah,
Like,
okay.
my bench
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like.
that's true.
But
All
yeah.
right. So
Oh,
yeah,
but
any
no,
grades? Oh, go ahead. Oh,
I had an
no.
interesting story to tell
Go
about
ahead.
that. You know, there's been reports like for the past few weeks of Jamal Williams is going to play. It's like only a matter of time, right?
Yeah,
And so I was monitoring Ryan's roster like at least every 30 minutes to see when he's
yeah.
cuz I
Yeah,
knew that Ryan who I'm playing needed to drop someone, and I hoped he would have dropped like someone good cuz he has
Yeah,
a
yeah.
decent bench, right?
yeah.
And so I was like hoping he would drop someone good. And so right when I was actually, so I was like on the road, whatever, right? So I see that fucking he gets dropped, and like I'm fucking at a stop sign, and I'm like typing in, hey Ryan, don't you need to drop? Because Ryan moved him from the IR spot
Yeah.
into the bench, which means he was active on sleeper, right? Or else he would have just left him in the IR spot, because you can have a player in the IR spot without
Yeah,
if
you
they
just
just
leave them
got
there.
taken off, right? You can just
Yeah.
leave him
Yeah.
there. And so I knew he was active, and so I was like, "Oh, he's active. He intentionally didn't drop someone." And so I was like, "Hey, what's going on here?" Because I knew he needed to drop someone good, and I guess he dropped that
Um,
Algier. I was waiting all day to send that text.
Man,
yeah.
Essentially,
can he do that? That was my question. I was like, shouldn't he have like dropped someone before he moved someone out of IR?
you can do that, but you can't add drops
After you do that, okay.
after you
Yeah.
do, it'll tell you like you can't do that.
Oh,
And,
okay.
but
and
you can move them.
Okay.
mhm. And technically, I agreed to that, like the parameters, not maybe the number, but I agreed to it last night. He just was like, if Jamal gets activated, I needed to do the trade, and I agreed to it last night already.
Oh, okay.
All right, all
Yeah.
right.
All right. Oh man. All right. Last trade. Michael receives Jordan Love. Royce receives 3 fab. Yeah. I all week I was like, man, what's Michael gonna do? Wednesday, I was like, Michael has this much fab. All right, I'm gonna take all the quarterbacks. I ended up picking up 2 kickers instead. I ended up
Yeah.
picking 2 kickers. I'm like, all right, what quarterbacks do I not want to play against? And
Mhm.
so I was like, Derek Carr. I was like, all right, let me, figure this out.
Uh-huh.
And then he makes the trade. I'm like, let me cancel all my waivers. So I thought
Uh,
that was a great move by Michael. Great move by Michael.
yeah,
Mhm.
3
Only
fab.
thing I put here is just opposite of like Robin Hood. It's like Royce is taking money from the poor, like from Michael, who has what 50 fab left. He
Yeah.
charged him $3. And that's
Yeah.
just unethical.
All
That's
All right.
10% of his budget left.
right.
Yeah.
Our game. What's our game this week, David?
Our game of this week is trade wins. As around this time of the year, we always have a trade segment. I mean, it's not too late for even people like Michael to right the ship, right? How many games we got left? Like 7 games left. He could run the. He could run the
8? Yeah.
8. He could run the table, but it's gotta happen this week. So, I mean, it's pretty late in the week already, Thursday, but you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday to do stuff. So hopefully, by the time this podcast comes out, y'all have made like some moves, right? And we're just gonna go bottom 6 because the top 6 don't really need help. So we're just gonna go bottom 6, look at each roster. We can go over what they need, and we can spitball potential like trade scenarios. How you guys feel about that? Trade scenario.
Yeah.
Sounds good, but I just want to throw out that, man, like usual, our league is very tight. Besides me having the most points for it being 5-1, I mean we got 4-2s that have less points for than the 3-3s and stuff like that. So yeah, 4-2s, 3-3s, and then 2-4s even. We're all in it.
Yeah.
Just Mike Bull is gonna really have to claw his way back.
Yep.
So we really could be talking about trades about anyone. But we'll talk about the bottom 6
I
here.
will. I will say this: Mike Mo has, if he does claw back, he has more points for than the
A lot of
top
people.
than the bottom 8. So 8,
Yeah,
9,
8,
10,
9, 10,
11. He has more
11.
points
Yeah,
than them. So yeah,
for
Michael,
sure,
I believe in you.
for sure. All right, let's jump into it. We got looking at Michael's team. The notes I quickly made were he needs a quarterback, he needs a running back one, he needs a tight end. He's been kind of unlucky with that. Um, he got Keenan Allen early on in the year. Just definitely bye weeks are hurting him this week, and just unfortunate quarterback and tight end play have been kind of dooming him.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
what are any trade scenarios you can see? Anyone you'd want to flip for like a 2-for-1, or maybe he needs to just go all in and go
Mhm.
for a 2-for-1 himself and just
I'll
get some
go.
depth here.
I'll go first on this. I disagree with you both. Your season is over, Michael. You should just trade for guys for long-term Ross. If James loses this week and he gets desperate, I would just trade like Keenan Allen and like James Conner for like Justin Jefferson or something like that. Or like, just like your main focus now is to not get the toilet. Go
Mm.
14 and just focus on winning, not winning the toilet. Like fuck it. Who the fuck cares? Give him everything. Like give him an offer
So
he can't
offer
refuse.
for James Conner, offer for Kyler Murray and Justin
Yeah.
Jefferson, and make offers for.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just overwhelm him for Justin Jefferson. Like,
That's
like you
Spicy.
want James to lose this week so he gets like a little panicky. Because if James got lucky, not lucky, but he was good enough to win last week, even without Justin Jefferson. But if he loses this week, maybe he might get a little scared. And that's when you just send like a Godfather offer. Just fuck it. Who cares?
But
Like,
I will be devil's advocate here and say if he trades for Justin Jefferson and they shut him down, will that not secure his toilet spot? If he if he trades the house, let's say he trades Keenan Allen and let's say he trades Keenan Allen plus Joe Adderall because they're same team. Shut him down. He's running Craig Reynolds, Puka, and fucking Brees Hall out fucking
Yeah.
straight to the toilet. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say he's running a team that looks like Timmy's team, and so you just gotta beat Timmy. It's not the bar is not too high. I think you could, so
All right.
I think you could like literally kill Keenan Allen and someone else on Michael's team, and he might still beat Timmy's
I
team.
gotta-
So yeah, go ahead.
I gotta trade. All right, but without bashing on Michael too much, I gotta. I mean, what do you got? He needs running back one help, right? And I'm a
I
little
would say so.
surprised he didn't make any trades this week because it's must win for him. What about like Brees Hall for a like a Raheem Mostert start this week?
I thought that. I've thought that.
Like
Mhm.
a Brees Hall for a Raheem Mostert. You would probably, or James might do a Brees Hall for Pacheco this week. Would be a on the bye, but James pretty close to, he 3 and 3s are in like a must-win situation also. So maybe he would.
Maybe he feels good about if he does that. Maybe he feels good about like Alvin Kamara being having a little lead. So maybe he might do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, Brees Hall, I would trade if I was Michael. I would think about trading Brees Hall because he's talented, but he is on the Jets. So if I
Yeah.
could get a high end 2, low end 1 plus like a flex receiver, I might do that.
And it's a winnable week for him this week with
Yeah, he's
CMC
playing me.
possibly being out. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it sucks for him that he has all these buys and injuries this week because this is it was a very winnable week for him. It just his season gets unluckier and unluckier because it's just like it's the worst week for him to have this kind of situation with this roster.
I mean, his team's not bad.
No, his team's not bad.
It's not the worst team,
No.
but he didn't play Justin Fields. That was a winnable week if he played Justin Fields. I mean, Michael, I'm feeling for you, bro.
It's crazy because when I think of Michael's team, like he picked up the wide
best
receiver
waivers.
8 and the running back 4 total of the year, and he's at this position. Like he got that
Yep.
for free, and
Yep.
it's very unfortunate for him.
Yep.
He was manager diffing himself like early on in the year though. There's some plays he made where I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's like just like when you have so many choices, you like you get really and too much analysis can be bad.
Okay.
That's true. All right, so yeah, if you have running backs, you're interested in Brees Hall, that's a good trade candidate there. If you're interested in Kyren Williams, maybe if him coming back later, you might be able to buy him for cheap. James Conner, you might buy him for cheap. Rashad White, if you like.
I might even sell Wilson for a running back too.
Yeah, because he already has good receivers. I would say he has good receivers. Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was saving this for Chris's when we get to Chris, but a trade that I think maybe Chris would do because I think for Chris, his needs we put here running back 2, wide receiver, flex, and tight end. I agree with that too. So I was thinking like maybe would Chris do something like if Mick gave him Justin Fields, Love, and Garrett Wilson for Mahomes, if that's something that would.
Justin Fields isn't coming back. I think if Justin Fields is healthy, I'd consider it.
Yeah.
But and it's also tough because I'm playing him this week, so I can't.
Yeah, and you're playing him this week. It's tough.
You're about to banish him this week.
Yeah.
We got a shot on this. All right, first one to give Michael a win, it takes a shot. So.
All right. Next one, Vintuk.
All right. Needs I wrote down running back 2, quarterback. He hasn't been hitting on his running backs. He kind of health as well. Austin Eckler hasn't been healthy. Jalen Waddle hasn't been healthy. Deontay Johnson hasn't been healthy. Khalil Herbert's on IR now, so he's definitely got to make moves himself. Can't pick the right quarterback. So what do you think are some potential trade targets he should be looking for? Maybe some trade aways, like some value people that he can try to get something back.
Yeah, I actually had a trade with Vintuk that was basically accepted, but Aaron Jones just fucked me by not playing at all these last few weeks. And I was gonna actually trade him Aaron Jones and Ayuk for Eckler, and I think for Vintuk, probably the best move for him is to trade Eckler. But I don't think his depth. The thing is, his depth is not even that bad. I feel like he has 3 solid guys in running back and wide receiver, but A trade that I think maybe would be like it sucks because like Nee is the best person to trade with because he has so many good players. If you're
Oh,
gonna do
yeah.
a 2-for-1, it's like it has to be with Nee, and I hate it because it's gonna make his team better. But I was thinking like I think Nee might even do like if he traded Eckler to Nee for like Mostert and Mixon or something like that. Nee might accept that because he can't play all his running backs, and Eckler is
Yeah,
gonna be a guy he starts over Mostert and Mixon when it comes down to the playoffs.
that's true. That's a pretty good look right there.
I actually
And
have a different opinion of Vince's team. I
mm,
think his running back depth is fine. You got
yeah.
Eckler, and you got, I mean, Ramondre, who hasn't been, doing what we drafted him to do, but he's getting the work. I mean, it's just the Patriots' offense is anemic. I don't hate Ramondre being my running back too. I much more hate his wide receivers. In my opinion, his wide receivers are the weakness of his team.
Mhm.
You got Waddle, who's been inconsistent. He's really only like averaging like 11 points a game maybe, and you got DK Metcalf, who's banged up. He's not getting the red zone targets. He's getting a lot of targets. Geno Smith for some reason hasn't been going downfield a lot, which is DK's like contested catch profile, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like he can trade Waddle for, okay,
I think DK.
tell me if I'm crazy here. Waddle for Thielen, straight up.
Waddle for Thielen.
He might.
Hmm.
If the
Is
thing
that
is,
crazy? That's not.
The thing is, it feels disgusting as a
It
Waddle owner to
does.
do that
yes.
trade. You feel disgusting after that. Even if it could be right, I don't know if it's right, but you just feel so nasty
Yeah,
doing that.
yeah.
Is I
Um,
mean,
I think I'd rather keep the wide receivers too in this high-powered offense. Unfortunately, they are
Yeah,
running the ball very well compared to
yeah.
last year. I think they couldn't run the ball, so they're just throwing the ball. This year, they're running the ball very well. So I don't know how much. Like, do you take the Waddle name, and the high-powered offense and trade it for something like that, like the number one target? That's not a bad look.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Waddle is gonna return to what he did last year just because of the running game. The running game is
Right.
crazy. You got Davon
Yeah.
A-Chan, if you've been
Okay.
listening
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
podcast, and you got Mostert, who's been playing well. You got Jeff Wilson, who profiles exactly the same as Mostert, and you got like five of the top 15 fastest people in the NFL on one team. The pie is not big enough, and Tyreek Hill is freaking open on like freaking every play. Is an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why would
Yeah.
I throw it to Waddle when I can just throw it to a wide open Tyreek Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've been forcing it to Waddle the last few games, it seems
Yeah,
like to like appease them.
Yeah.
you could. I would trade him on his name for someone that's a little bit more the number one option on like a worse offense. What do you guys think of like Waddle for DJ on that beat or something?
I like a
Like
Waddle for
these
Yeah.
nasty names. Like
Yeah,
I'm
just
what.
thinking of
yeah,
nasty players that you wouldn't
yeah,
expect, right?
What about Waddle for
yeah.
like Pittman? Thoughts on that? Because I think Deontay's coming back, so he doesn't really need a wide receiver depth if he's trying to win. What any thoughts on like Waddle for like Michael Pittman?
Or like if you do like it would be like I would think since I think Waddle would give you more, like maybe ask for an upgrade. Like I'll give you Waddle and like Ramondre, and then you give me like
Yeah,
Pacheco and Pittman. I get an
that's yeah,
upgrade at running back, and I maybe downgrade at wide receiver. But then you both move this way
yeah,
at each
yeah,
position, S-
yeah.
which is like the key to trades. It's like you really like a trade should never be like only benefiting one person. You really have to
No,
give up something to get something. So it's
no,
it's always gonna feel a little nasty every time you do a trade because it's
yeah,
like you're losing something that you like, but that's just how it goes.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're definitely trying to take a gamble there. All right, let's move
Yeah.
on to Timmy's team. Do we even need to talk about Timmy's team? Should we talk about just in case he trades?
No, he's not gonna
He's not
trade. I
gonna
didn't even think
trade.
about anything,
All
dude.
right,
Timmy's
let's
not gonna
just
trade. It's
let's
Let's
bad.
be honest.
just
He needs everything. I think that's
And
where I'm
he
at.
needs
okay.
everything.
How about we
He
just
has
do?
Tony Pollard and T Higgins. That's it. That's like his two players that
Yeah.
he has.
Yeah.
So I think he's
I'm
gonna give a 2-for-1 for one up for one of those, and then just kind of get something back.
yeah. I
And
think so.
I'm pretty sure Tyler Bass has probably scored the most points on his team this season. If I had to check, I would think that's his best player this season
Yeah.
in terms of total fantasy output.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. Oh,
He's still all
myself.
right. Whatever. All right. Yeah. Timmy's got to do something here, or he can just sit with he can finally go pick up the toilet next year. All right, David. David's team? My notes are that David needs a running back 2, maybe a more consistent flex play, but yeah, Saquon Barkley hasn't been healthy. Any thoughts here, Jonathan?
Yeah, I think those are David's needs. David, it's funny. David mentioned the Thielen trade. I actually came up with the Thielen trade for him, and I don't know. I actually don't know how I feel about this, but I wrote it down. I was thinking, so he could use. I think David could use an upgrade at flex. So maybe if he would trade someone like Tyler Lockett and Najee Harris for Thielen, and like I don't know, a running back from Ryan's team that
Bro,
isn't
you
like his
already
top
know
2.
Ryan's asking price for Thielen,
Ryan's
dude.
Thielen's
I didn't
asking
have.
price is
I have to
too
ask.
much.
I have to ask for
That's
someone dirty. Like,
Yeah,
who's a dirty,
probably
dirty
Jamal Williams before he played today.
like
That's what he probably would have taken.
yeah. It would have to be someone dirty. Like
But
I
you're not
don't
wrong.
even.
I think Jonathan's value is correct. It's just the way Ryan's valuing his
Yeah,
players right
that
now.
I would.
Yeah.
I would
It's
say.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
And plus, that's good for Ryan because I think Ryan needs the RB depth. Like he's just not. And it sucks you guys are playing this week, but I thought that would have been a decent trade for both because Brian would have, had at least. I mean, Najee won't put you to bed, but at least he'll.
He
He'll
has
try.
opportunities.
Yeah.
He just runs into a brick wall half the time.
Yeah,
But at least
yeah.
he touches the ball, unlike Jamal, right?
Yeah. You'll
But
get something.
I mean,
Um,
I've been running out Jerome Ford as my running back
Running back
1
two.
because
Yeah.
Saquon's been unhealthy, and
Yeah.
so I think he's a fine running back 2 if you slot him in there.
Yeah.
But he's not a good running back 1. But my team's
No.
running on like a prayer right now.
Yeah. Maybe you can look at Royce's team. Royce's doesn't have too much depth though, but I was thinking maybe trying to get Kenneth Walker. Maybe he needs some wide receiver help, I would say.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
you're
think
trying
I've
to
talked to Royce before. He's pretty high on his 2 running back. I don't think he wants to split
Yeah.
them up.
yeah, that's what I thought. And then maybe Isaiah Pacheco, another name we've been bringing up lately. That might be a good name. James Cook, he's on the bench right now for knee. If you need that running back too, just some ideas of running backs you might want to target. Yeah, give him his noble phantasm back.
That's what he was at. No, me and Vit or Yi have been in trade talks, and he only wants one thing from me, and it's my
And it's
quarterback.
disgusting.
And it's my quarterback and his noble phantasm. I don't know if I
Mm.
should divulge. I feel like me and Yi's talks are still ongoing, so I
Okay,
don't want to
okay.
I don't want to divulge too much. But Yi's been trying to get his noble phantasm back from
Okay.
me, but that price is a little bit too low for. I'm willing to give him away, but he's not giving me what I want.
Yeah.
I don't know how Chris pulled off a trade with Yi on our first year for the Devontae Adams because trading with Yi is fucking impossible. It's so hard to negotiate with him. It's just like I don't know why. Like when I negotiate trades with people, I don't even try to like explain myself. I just send the trade. If they don't like it, they don't like it. But I don't know why with Yi, I feel the need to explain myself. Like it's like, why aren't you
Yeah.
seeing this? Like you're in such a golden position. Like I don't know why I have to explain this to you. And so it's just like I don't know how you did it. And I
think
even looked. Oh no, go ahead.
No, you even looked what?
No, I even looked at like all his transaction history, and that's like the only trade he's done that's been like substantial.
Yeah.
Is that trade with you?
I think you honestly you have to like know the person in the situation. Like
Yeah.
I haven't had time to, but I was keeping like the sheets of like win losses and like all right,
Uh-huh.
if they hit a bad loss, like how are they feeling
Yeah.
about certain players? And I know you do that too, right?
Yeah.
So but it's the idea of like kind of seeing where they're at mentally, engaging like how they react to their week as well. So
Yeah.
me riding high 5-1 is like, dude, you come talk to me.
Yeah.
Like he's got to like be on like a 2 maybe 3 game like skid before he can like start to fold somewhere. But
I-
Mhm.
he has every reason to hold his players high. Like he's 5-1, most points for. So you really have to bid up for some of his players, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I will give you guys I've been in pretty serious talks with Yi, and I will give you guys the inside scoop here. I would say Yi and I were like, I would say the ball was in Yi's court, and it was maybe 40% accept, 60% decline. It was close. I feel like
Uh-huh.
I had him like right there, but Yi
Yeah.
is trying to sell his running back depth for a serviceable quarterback. That is something
Okay.
Yi is actively trying to do. So if you like any of his running backs and you have a good quarterback to sell, I think Yi is willing to deal there.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to bang his line later. All right, let's jump into mine. I have running back 2, wide receiver help, flex, and even tight end help. So my team is kind of shot. Besides, I would say quarterback by name, like he hasn't even been that great, and my running back, my hero running back,
Yeah.
been holding me down. So, any thoughts on trade targets, trade aways, like names or values?
Yeah.
Maybe like
Go ahead, Jonathan.
I would try. I mean, I would think the person to trade is Javante, but he just hasn't had the games to
Mhm.
like have any trade value. I think he's like the type of player where like you kind of if you own him, you hold him to a higher value than other people in the league because of his points. But like he would be someone I would for you try to trade for like a good wide receiver too, just because of like how needy people are at RB. Even though they're not that good, they typically just have more value.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know, another mid-lane wide receiver too. Like maybe Nick would give you George Pickens, but George Pickens just came off a big game, so I don't know if he would do
Yeah.
that. Maybe Drake London or something. I don't but I know people are sour on him. It's odd. A trade here I put between you two actually would be
Mm.
Chris packaging Mahomes and Palmer and David giving Lamar and Lockett and maybe helping Chris out with the wide receiver department and then I guess David perhaps gets a upgrade at quarterback.
Wait, sorry, what was the trade?
Mahomes and Palmer for Lamar and Lockett.
I was the one that went on record saying I think Mahomes falls outside the top
Oh,
three
yeah,
this
yeah.
year,
That's
right?
spicy. That's spicy.
That was spicy, but it's holding true
It's
so
holding true.
far.
Uh-huh.
So
Their
far.
defense is
I
too
see
good.
these things. I see the Taysom Hill play.
You do
But-
this for a living,
Yeah,
dude.
but I will say before the Thursday games, maybe you could have traded Jalen Warren for a Christian Kirk. Would you have done that? Would Ryan have done that?
I'm-
Maybe.
I don't think Ryan would have done that.
Maybe for Gabe Davis, he would have.
Yeah, or
I threw it out there, and then he was like, I'm kind of interested in him. So you know what? I don't know. Maybe one of his flex wide receivers, but I think he needed them this week, if I'm not mistaken.
what
Yeah,
if
he
you
did need them.
what if you do
yeah.
a Jalen Warren plus a bench receiver for like a Garrett Wilson on a bye to Michael, something like
That's
that,
spicy, but
right?
I'm playing him this week.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
right.
if you weren't playing him, I would have offered like even Javante for like James Conner or something like that. You know?
Oh, you could still offer it to him. He needs it. You could probably still win out. To be honest,
Maybe yeah. If CMC
That's-
plays, you could maybe.
The
give him a
last time I
trade.
traded someone I played, which was this year for the first time ever, I lost. 36-point swing, dude.
who else needs a running back? Yeah, I don't know.
I think those two definitely need running backs. Even
Yeah.
maybe Timmy. Timmy needs one, but Timmy's not.
Yeah, Timmy needs everything.
I mean, I would maybe do. I don't know, like a Jalen Warren for Romeo Dobbs. Packer fan.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm kind of cold right now. I'm cold
See,
on my own team, dude. Green Bay's
we'll see. We'll see after
I'm
this.
watching this shit, man. Oh my
It's
God.
that asymmetry, which is what makes the trades like
Yeah, you know,
possible,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
It's
no,
less-
you're not. I think that's pretty good. I thought about it. I did think about that. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm just kind of I'm
Alright.
kind of just cold on that. I think that's
Wait.
more of a
You know what I
I'm
just realized? The three analysts talking right now, we're talking about trade wins for ourselves.
All right. And then we got Jonathan here. But they're listening, right? They're listening. Like, okay, like what are some name values? I think that's something to take away. Like, okay, Jonathan's willing to part with this. Okay, maybe you're hearing David talk. He's willing to part with this.
Mhm.
I like Jalen Warren. I like these bench players. So it's just a discussion of like player names and kind of like a heat check on how we feel about them as players. So maybe it can blow
Yeah.
some trade wins.
Yeah.
With that being said, we feel like Jonathan needs. I just wrote healthy. I'm gonna be honest.
He needs
Uh,
health.
um,
Maybe like just the most frustrating thing for me is just Aaron Jones, my RB2. I feel like he's good, but it just doesn't play. But it's tough. I can't trade him because he hasn't played. It's just so it's hard. It's hard for me to think of trades for me.
I sent you an
Uh,
offer, bro.
Oh, I got 3 words for you when you when you said that, and you know them very well. Stop smoking crack.
oh man, so yeah, I think I like a like Cup, like maybe trading Olave Jones away for like something better. Like you got
Yeah.
some pretty big name players. Your depth pieces. Maybe selling Tajay Spears to your brother, trying to get like I don't know if you need wide receiver help. I don't know if you need running back help, but maybe getting something from him.
No, the trade you said would be like exactly the trade I would offer to Timmy, like Olave and Aaron Jones for like Pollard.
Yeah.
Which I
Yeah.
think is a fair trade, but I would know he would just say that's rape.
What
so
about-
I don't even.
Yeah.
Like I mean, Gee has all the good running backs, and it's like impossible to trade. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Like you're thinking,
yeah,
like
like
his wide receiver is good. Like maybe you can sell like Cup Jones. That's a lot. That's a lot. Cup Jones for like Tyreek Hill and Joe
Yeah.
Mixon or something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe Adams, like maybe like that step down. But I don't know I don't know your take on Adams right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Earlier I was trying to trade with Yi. Like I was when Anthony Richardson had a pulse. I was trying to trade him like Justin Herbert and like someone else for like Adams or Tyreek, but can't afford to trade Herbert now that Richardson's out.
Richardson's out.
all right. I mean,
we
yeah.
can move on.
Overall, your team's like looking pretty strong. I think
Yeah.
you're gonna right the ship soon. I mean, I did say you had a contending team, which I still think is true. You just had some bad luck with health. So, yeah, I think your team doesn't need too much work. I mean, we're nitpicking here. Well, Aaron Jones or Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
But like when we're talking like Michael's team, we're like talking like Brees Hall for like 3 pieces back. We didn't even talk
Yeah.
about Timmy's team. So I think we're like pulling at straws here.
Yeah. All right. Trade wins. Hopefully we get some trades coming through. It is. Did we push back the trade deadline?
There was only 6 votes for yes, so I think James was maybe waiting for another vote. And but
Okay.
yeah, I think if we bump that, then someone will say yes, and then it could get pushed through.
All right, we're gonna bring that back up. Right now it's week 10 or week 11, something like that.
Yeah, it's week 11. Yeah.
So we have 4 more weeks of trades. So come in soon, guys. It's week 7 already. That's crazy.
Yeah. Crazy.
Let's jump into we missed 2 weeks, so week 5 recap. Chris versus Topher. Topher was on the podcast, so he's part of the head-to-head. He picked himself. He won. James versus Nick. Nick won, and we did not. Bintook versus David. We all picked David, and Bintook won. Michael versus Royce. Everyone said Royce. Ryan versus Timmy. Everyone said Ryan. Me versus Jonathan. Your brother got spicy trying to stand up for his big bro. Said Jonathan. Unfortunate. So he goes 3-3. We go 3-6, 3-6, 3-6. On the season, our running total, David's at 50%, 15 for 30. I'm at 12 for 24, 50%. And the guess is at 41%. So they're climbing their way back up, 14 for 34, up to Jonathan this week. We didn't make guesses last week. Oh, my anything is possible was Ryan. Man, we were talking so much shit. Timmy going up by like 70. Sam Howell and DJ Moore. Oh yeah, and he was like, "Hey, we're trying to hang out this Sunday." I'm like, "Dude, just find something else to do. Your week's done." So my anything is possible goes to Ryan, coming back from a 70-point deficit on a Thursday night to win big, 146 to 117.
Yep.
So Here's this
Well
week
deserved.
5. Anything is possible. Can you run through the week 6
Yeah.
matchups really quick?
We'll skip the power ranking. It's like same as last week, so just tune in next week because if anything changes, I'll break down the week 7 matchups. The first matchup we got Michael
Oh, really quick.
versus.
I want to say week 6 matchups just to go over last week's. Jonathan, James,
Oh,
Telford, Chris, me, Royce were winners. My couple anything is possible really quick. Topher off of McManus is 17. Me off Mostert scoring 32. JT, Justin Tucker, JT with 18. After he's been trying to sell Mostert this whole time, and Royce overcoming David's many attempts of trickery. What is this? Did you put that in there?
Because I know David is like me of the philosophy like you don't wish good luck on people when like don't even if you wish me good luck, thank you. I will not wish you good luck back because I don't want good luck for you. So if you wish me good luck, like that's already an advantage towards me. So and I know David follows the same thing. Like if we go against each other, the chat will be quiet. I'll say GG, but that's it. But there's no like pre-ban like good luck. Like that's stupid to me. There's no reason to
that's
wish your
very
opponent good
true.
luck.
I was trying to change up the motion.
Yeah. So when David wished Royce good luck, I was like, "What the? This I already
No,
smell something fishy."
I legit woke up that morning and I'm like, fuck, do I switch up the mojo this or do I? But no, I was like, if I say it, that's like so out of character.
Yeah.
Even typing out the words, like it felt so weird. I'm like, what the fuck am I even saying?
Yeah.
And
My one
Jonathan
reason why
called me out on it like
that's so
instantly.
funny. My one reason why my anecdote and why I say good luck is I remember in high school I was testing for my driver's license test, and then my uncle was like checking my stuff, and I was like, and he's like, oh, good luck, and I'm like, I don't need it, like I got it, like I don't need it, and I pulled up, and my light was out. So they didn't even let me test. Like my brake light was out, so they didn't let me test. So ever since that moment, I'm like, man, I should probably take the any good luck I can get, give and take it. So that's my anecdote. But I do have to give this to myself because I'm him, winning with 66 points, beating Sibi. I'll take that shit. All right, but yeah,
I gotta say this season has reinvigorated my belief in Broden because watching Timmy, who deserves all this bad karma, just like get hit like every week with just bad things happening to him. I'm just like, this is why I pray.
if he dropped off the toilet, man, he would have won. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yep. This is to me. So, week 5, week 6. Let's jump. Skipping the power rankings. Let's go
Yeah,
into
we'll
week
skip the
7.
power
Yeah.
rankings. We're running a
Nothing
little
happened.
long on the episode. Nothing even happened. I mean, whatever. I just like nothing to
Yeah.
talk about. Michael
same
versus Chris. Week 1 matchup. Why don't you break
Go ahead
this
and break.
down for
Oh, you went.
I'll break it down. Fine.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes versus Jordan Love. You got Chris easy. If CMC plays, I got Chris winning the running back. Michael does not really have anything. He's running like prayers out. So even if CMC doesn't play, I might have it as a tie at that point. Wide receivers, I do like Keenan Allen and Puka. I think Puka's back for a big bounce back week, especially with Kyron missing some time. Devontae Smith, hopefully they lean on him a little bit more this week, but if not, I think that's a buy low candidate. Tight ends, I guess I have Chris. Kyle Pitts is on like a 2-game streak. Let's see if he can make it 3. Flex spot, I have the number 1 wide receiver on was that the Vikings. So I have Michael taking that. Does defense and kicker play a role? I think if CMC doesn't play, it's gonna be very close. And so I do seeing them play a role. I guess you can see the New Orleans kicker already has 11 points.
Yeah.
I think the Rams could have a good game against Pickett, and so I do see it swaying it towards the making the matchup a little bit more even. But overall, I think Chris wins this one. Yeah, I might for on Chris's side, I might play Jordan Palmer against Kansas City over one of either Jerry Judy or Jamal Williams as just
Right,
an
Yeah.
Williams.
as an upside.
Oh, Javonte Williams. Okay.
What is that? Oh, Javante, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even play Judy. You see what he said earlier today.
Yeah, I
It
did.
seems
I did.
like they're not gonna. He might. I mean, if he plays, I don't think they have like no incentive to run
Throw it to
plays
him,
for
yeah.
him or like throw it to him and stuff like that. So I think that's like just super risky to play him because he just seems like he's checked out. But I got to say pretty much the same agreement with you, except I do think Michael will get his first win of the year this
Wow.
year. And if I'm wrong, it doesn't matter because the guests have been sucking ass at this anyway. So I'm just gonna pick the fun pick and pick McMo.
Okay. I agree. Jerry Judy's just in there because he has more projected points. You know what I mean? You know, inflate that shit real quick.
Yeah.
Chris,
Combination.
Chris, I will say that
What's up?
being higher percentage than the guest is a nice is nice, you
Oh
know,
yeah,
because
I do this for a living.
it's like you know like the guests just come on and then they just say like they just like guess essentially, and me and
Yeah,
you are like you do this every week, and so
yeah.
like it
You guys are
feels
out here
good to have
grinding.
a higher
Oh
percentage.
yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine like we do this and we have like a 0.3 and the guests come on
And
and get like a
it's
0.6, dude. Oh
it's
my
funny
god.
because the guests are rotating, and so like
Yeah.
it's the collective
Yeah.
is smarter than both me and Chris.
And I like to say, if you guys are listening at this point, that I appreciate the good sports of everyone taking shots. I just kind of throw that into the shot bets, but it's up to y'all drinkers or not. But if you're coming on the pod and you're taking shots for it, like I appreciate that. Let's jump into So I agree with David, but I am picking myself though. So let's jump into the James versus Timmy matchup. I can break this one down. I got James versus Timmy here. Actually, Jonathan, go ahead and break this one down so I can break yours down.
I didn't even put any notes on here. I'm not gonna even look at the rosters. There's no chance Timmy even wins another game this whole season. When Chubb went down, I thought, okay, those 2 wins are probably the only wins he's gonna have this whole season. So if you ask me to do the breaking down per position, I'll just say James all of them. And yeah, Timmy's team is bad, and then all the buys and stuff make it worse.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. And I think I just said Timmy seems hurting. He should definitely listen to the trade win segment. If he jumps to this segment, just listen to his own.
Which he didn't say anything for him.
No, we don't. we're writing
Well, the thing is, you gotta look at the context clues. Like we didn't like specifically say it, but we did bring up, hey, need if you can package someone
That's
better for
true.
Tsingy. We threw names out there that might stick. You know, okay, maybe I like this name,
Yeah.
maybe I like
This
that
is
name.
this
So,
is insiders. You know, you
yeah,
usually don't get to see like what we have when we do trades we get a feel for everyone's prices, but that's behind
Yeah.
closed doors. So like this
Yeah.
segment we're kind of like opening up a little bit of the doors, see like what's available, what people are trying to acquire, what's been said, you know, because it's a blind market, it's like a blind auction pretty much, but we're
Yeah.
opening up the doors a little bit during the trade
for sure.
segment.
But yeah, I agree. James all the way down.
Don't
James.
even break this segment.
All right, let's jump into Royce versus Jonathan. I got Jonathan quarterback, Herbert. I got Jonathan at running back myself. I like Bijan Aaron Jones over Jacobs Kenneth Walker slightly. Wide receivers, Cup Ayuk. I would put Cup Ayuk as the receivers, and I got Jonathan there. And then tight end, I got Darren Waller over Laporta. No, I got Royce. I got Laporta over Darren Waller. Not too different. And for flex, I got Jonathan. If I'm looking at Olave versus Curtis Samuel. So I got Jonathan for the most part. I'm gonna say my general thoughts are Jonathan. David, anything?
um, yeah, I mostly agree with you. I think Jared Goff and Justin Herbert is a little bit closer this week, so I have that as a tie. And I
Okay.
don't agree that Bijan and Aaron Jones is better than Josh Jacobs and Ken Walker. I mean, Josh
Mm,
Jacobs just getting so many touches, like it's like insane how many touches he's getting. And I
yeah,
think Bijan, I mean, no matter how good he looks, like with the eye test, the workload is not there. He's not getting the high value touches. They're still playing like Algier, like at a like 40%, 30%. I don't forget Jonathan probably knows the clip, but like maybe a 30, 40% clip. They're running out Algier. I think if
Mhm.
Bijan got the full like the Saquon or CMC like workload. I think he
Workload,
could
yeah.
be like a top tier, but Algier and just that coaching staff is depressing his value. So who he is as a player, maybe like a high like a top 3 running back, but the way they're utilizing him, I see him as more of a low end one running back. And so, Josh Jacob, Ken Walker's been performing well too. So I think I have them that Royce winning out there. That's just
All
my
right.
2 cents of Bijan as
Uh,
a.
should we put that as a shot bet? Thoughts? I think it's pretty close. I'm down for shot bet. Jonathan's running backs versus Royce's running backs here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I mean, I
We'll
have to
just
vote
do-
myself, but I wrote down here that I actually think I agree with David. I actually think Kenneth
Mm.
Walker and Josh Jacobs are coming into this week could be running back 1 and 2, just because the matchups are so juicy for them
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Against Pittsburgh's D? I don't know, man. Pittsburgh's D's nice.
Oh wait, who's
Pittsburgh.
playing Pittsburgh D? They're playing Pittsburgh D.
No, you're looking at the wrong week.
Isn't Raiders playing Pittsburgh?
Raiders playing
Oh, they're playing
Chicago.
Chicago. Oh shit, never mind.
Yeah, it's
take it
Chicago
back,
and
never mind.
Arizona. So
Never
those
mind.
And
those are
Arizona. Yeah,
soft.
those are
Yeah,
pretty
those are
soft.
soft matchups.
Yeah,
And
compared to
So-
Bijan
Bijan's
at
playing
Tampa
Tampa
Bay.
Bay,
Oh,
yeah.
that's pretty tough.
And Aaron Jones coming off of an injury, playing at Mile High.
Yeah.
Like
know.
things to think about, right?
If
Um,
Aaron Jones plays, I'll be happy because I mean against Denver will be the perfect matchup for him.
I
But,
mean,
you
he's not in
know.
he's not in football shape though. He's gonna be
Yeah.
gassed.
All right, if Aaron Jones plays, do you want to? Are you gonna take your running backs, Jonathan? I'm
I
right
just
with you.
take it. Yeah, just yeah.
All
I'll
right.
take mine, of course.
All right, so
I
I'm
mean,
gonna take
in my brain says Royce, but my heart, of course, always.
and
just
I
says
know
my team.
and I know that Royce is gonna take this bet. It's too spicy for him. So I'm just gonna put his name down now. But when he listens to the pod, he'll know that he took this
Yep.
bet.
All right.
All right. So, but who do you got winning, David?
I have it pretty close, but I think I have Royce eking it out. Just
Mm.
that running back matchup is a little
Alright.
skewed.
Yeah, and just a side note, I have to beat Royce because he completely trade raped me earlier this season. So I really just want to beat him because of that. I'm still mad about that.
What did you do?
I basically traded Charbonnet and Drake London for Algier, basically.
Oof. All right.
Alright,
Next
Let's
matchup.
do go ahead. Ryan versus David. Jonathan can break this one down because he said he didn't want to break the teams down.
Okay, so Ryan and David's matchup. First quarterback. I got Ryan in there. I think it's Jalen Hurts versus Lamar.
Yep.
So yeah, Jalen Hurts. Even though everyone hates Jalen Hurts, I hate watching Jalen Hurts. I hate everything about him.
I love Jalen Hurts. That's my jersey.
Yeah, he's the most unlikable person to watch. But I owned Miles Sanders for many seasons, so that's probably why. Running back, I got David, Saquon, and Jerome Ford versus I don't even know who Ryan's playing Jamal Williams and Jonathan Taylor, who we already addressed. He's wild for that. I mean, Jamal Williams. I think Jamal Williams is like perfect for Ryan. I think like they match up personality wise. It's just like two kind of oddly passionate guys, and I think I think when Ryan got Jamal, he was like, yeah, I think he was really happy about it. Swag cause the cog and all that stuff. And then wide receiver, I put David. I think I would put Mikmo and what's your wide receiver one again? I forgot.
It was CD, but it's Tyler Lockett this week.
Oh, it's
Mike
Tyler
Mo,
Lockett
this
and
week.
Mike Mo, yeah, versus Cooper Kupp and Christian Kerr, I guess. I did put David because I think those guys are just more consistent. And Cooper, Cooper's nice, but the quarterback, it's like it's tough because if Deshaun Watson's playing. Tight end, I got Ryan, just barely Komet versus Taysom Hill. But this is before today's game, but I was wrong. And then the flex, I put Ryan just because it's Gabe Davis versus Najee Harris. But I mean, this is the thing. I think this flex thing could go bad either way for both of you guys. Like Najee and Gabe Davis have very.
I will say I'm not playing Najee Harris this week. He just had the most. Just had the most points, so that the percentage looks better.
This is the intimidation tactic. Okay.
It's Dubs, right? It's Dubs.
It's probably one of my. I might play 2-2 this week actually.
Oh, 2-2. That's spicy.
I'm thinking about this insider Rams knowledge here. I got a peek of the playbook.
And then Yeah, I think overall, I didn't even put a winner overall. I guess my winner overall would be David. I think Ryan's team is just too banged up. I'm jealous because it just feels like so the three of us are like the same. We play like similar schedules, and I feel like David's been getting the better end of the schedule. Like he went against Royce when Royce had all these buys. Then he goes against Ryan with all these buys, and I go against Ryan full team. I go against Royce full team. It's just like
And I played Yi when he scored like 50 points.
Yeah, he did.
I've been like I'm watching David. I'm like, oh my god, he's like the timing is just so good for him compared to when I go against these guys.
Yeah, I
All
would
right,
admit, yeah.
I agree. I had the tight end pushing. Other than that, I agree with your analysis, and I said I would play Dubs. You had Rice and you had Rashi Rice in yesterday, so I said I would play Dubs over Rashi Rice.
I'm
And I got
just
David winning.
I'm just scared of playing Dobbs because all three of them should be back this week.
Okay. All right. So we all had David.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, let's go. Knee versus Topher. David, go and break this one down.
We have QB obviously going to Tua over Derek Carr. We even have a sneak peek of Derek Carr. It seems like he could have had a decent game, but he kind of turned
He's
the ball
minus
over.
3 points.
Yeah, so
Minus 3 points.
plus
So you get a
9.
19, yeah.
That would have been fine, but Raheem Mostert, Swift, obviously knee wide receivers. I mean, the thing I'm scared about is next year I'm gonna go for the Tyreek Devontae Adams stack, and that's the year they like fall off the cliff, right?
Finally.
Like finally, like the old a father time catches up with them. But like I'm like, you guys think about that too? Like it's crazy because Marcus was the number one
Yeah.
last
He went
year.
down for a while, yeah.
It's an excellent regular season stack if that's all
Yeah.
you care about.
Yeah.
Tight ends, Kelsey going for Kelsey over Hawkinson, obviously. Flex, I have Debo Samuel versus Kendrick Bourne. I have a tie there. Surprisingly, I think Debo. I don't know why he hasn't been getting like that much work. He has more carries than he has receptions in the last few games. And so I have that as a tie. I don't think Debo is what he was in years past, just the way they're utilizing him and I kind of breaking out. Maybe they will utilize him more if CMC is out, but again, that's like pretty speculative. Um, Defense and kicker, nah, I think both of them are like average at that position. So, but overall, I have me winning.
Yeah, I basically have the same breakdown as you. Topher winning, just tight end and quarterback. Nee's team is frustrating how good it is, but I'm gonna ride with my little bro and put Topher.
Yeah.
Wow.
Again, I do not
Spicy.
I do not care about this guest ranking because I know the next guest is gonna fuck it up anyway. So I might as well just go with
Mm,
the fun play
All right, I'll
Spicy.
and
take
go
a
with
shot
Topher.
if Topher wins this week.
I'm gonna join you because we'll take it on the pod together.
Yeah, we'll take it.
All right.
My general thoughts. I mean, Topher is absolutely zero ceiling plays. Like
Yeah,
none of
that's a big problem. Yeah,
his players are like workload plays. Like you got
yeah,
Brian Robinson workload, Elijah Moore workload, fucking
yeah. His only
Terry
ceiling play.
McLaurin and Kendrick Bourne. They're all like
Yeah,
volume guys, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
So no ceiling plays.
All
Yeah, even
right.
Kelsey, I don't think Kelsey like is like a consistent like 15, but he doesn't pop off for like 30 or
He's
anything
not
like
getting
that.
like those
Yeah.
touchdowns. I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's jump into our last matchup breakdown. I'll take this one. Vincent versus Nick. I got Brock Purdy over Kirk Cousins. I got Nick. Running backs actually got pushed. Etienne versus Madison versus I said Eckler versus Ramondre. I'm gonna call that a push. Wide receiver, I got Nick. At Zay Flowers, no, St. Brown versus Diggs, and Diggs versus DK versus Waddle, and then Zay Flowers versus Zach Moss. As of right now, I got Nick in the flex. So Nick's team's doing really hot. Like we saw today, I didn't put down Nick as a prediction prior to this, but Etienne did go off for 21 points, so I got Nick winning this. Any disagreements? Any thoughts on the positional breakdowns?
No,
Mm,
I pretty much got the same thing as you. And yeah, I agree. Nick too. It should be a close match. I think it's gonna be a close matchup. I think it's interesting because I think both of these guys have like good tight ends, but also hate their tight ends a lot because like
Yeah.
they just like have such high floor or high ceilings but low floor. So I
Yep.
think both of them just hate Goddard and Kittle, and they would probably try to trade them, but it's just so hard to trade someone who is so has so much variance in their scoring. But I also put on this thing. It's like they have so many guys playing on Monday. It's gonna be a fun if the matchup is
Oh,
close.
okay.
It's gonna
true.
be a really fun. It's gonna be a really fun Monday night if it ends up being close after Sunday.
Oh, that's spicy. Yeah, you're right.
I
Yeah, we
will.
we get
I
we
will.
gotta hit up the cigar bar on Monday. Thoughts?
I have. I have. Bro, I will say that I have. You guys both have Nick winning. I think I have. It's also very close to me. I have Vin
Mhm.
winning. The point, like the advantage here, I think, is Stefan Diggs gets shut down in New England. Not shut down, but not the maybe like 8 points that week, and not his normal like 15. How much is he been getting? Like 20 points. I think he
hmm
averages more of 8. I think I forgot who gave me the stat or which source gave me the stat, but New England is top two
Top
in
one. They were top one, and
top
yeah,
one against the
yeah,
wide receiver one, and like number
like
30 against wide
yeah,
receiver
yeah,
2, right?
yeah,
Which is an insane stat,
yeah,
but
yeah,
the Bill Belichick defenses usually take away the first option, so it's not like
yeah,
too crazy. So I
yeah.
think Stefan Diggs might not have as big of a game, and so I think that's where Vin gets his edge. So I have Vin.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good point. You know, especially because Buffalo's been pretty much reliant on Diggs the last few games.
Yeah.
Like they
They
haven't been
really
passing
have
it
been.
to
They really
anyone.
have been. Yeah. All
Um.
right.
Yeah.
That wraps it up.
Yeah,
Got some shot bits. Got a lot of trade wins talks. It was a great episode. Yeah, David, take
Yep.
us.
Anything you want to say? We like to open
no,
up the floor to you, Jonathan. Nothing.
no, just thanks for having me. It's been a long time since I've been on this podcast. It's always a joy to be on. I was bummed I couldn't go on the other week, and then you had my brother on, but I was happy to see him on. It's nice to have rookies in because before these rookies, me and Nick were the last rookies. It's I know this league is a lot of fun, and I'm just it's good to share with other people, and I know it just takes up so much time. So it's just nice to have new blood, but of course miss uh, Marcus and Ty too.
Yeah, I mean, always a pleasure having you on, Jonathan. Always drop in these like, cause you think about things that maybe not necessarily I or Chris think about. You just have a different way of viewing fantasy football from me and maybe Chris's perspective. So it's always nice to hear from a fellow analyst,
Mhm.
right? So
Ah,
yeah, and, a lot of people, some people in the league, I wouldn't give them the term analyst, but I respect your process, Jonathan, and you have a championship to show for it. So good luck on your week, everyone, and I'll catch you guys next week. See ya.
There you go.
Peace.
everyone.